felt like fraudulent for me to act like I have it all together. You know what I mean? Because I really don't. People always are like, how do you do it all? And I'm like, I don't do it all.
So I watched the first episode. I'm so excited for this season. It feels like it's been forever since you have all been on our screen. So how did you feel going into this season after last season's kind of explosive reunion?
I think this season I just came in. First of all, I was so excited that Naomi was back, even though I was sad for her. I was just like, but you're back, you know, like I felt like I was doing the Oprah scream, like, yes. So I was really pumped that she was back. I was so pumped that like my friend Olivia had come back to town and like, you know, she was going to be around. So, and I was just like, COVID's like, we're back in business. Things are opening. So I was coming in with like this like energy, kind of joyful, spirit, and hoping that like we could just all get along for a bit. You know, I think that's really what I wanted to do. And I knew that we were all dealing with like a lot of stress, like personal stuff and big changes and like new relationships and business opening back up and like social anxiety and like all the things. So I just wanted to like lean into like, everything will be okay. Let's just all get along.
Yes.
So, you know. I'm
sure that doesn't last for too long, right?
Yeah. It never lasts. I mean, I don't know. Naomi always is just like, Leva, you know this isn't. And I'm like, no, we're going to bring the crystals. We're going to do like meditation. We're all going to get along.
We're going to sage this place. And
yes, literally sage in the purse. Yeah.
Right. I know in the trailer you said that you feel like you were suffocating at some point.
Yeah.
What can you kind of tease about that?
So basically, like at that point, it was just, you know, you guys will see that I'm in this space where I'm once again trying to see if I can get pregnant because we put it on hold during COVID because we just didn't know how that would work. And obviously I'm now in a position where I can't carry the baby myself. And so I'm dealing with that. And then I'm just dealing with, you know, businesses opening back up. And, you know, I struggle with a lot of anxiety, which I open up about this year. I just didn't want, it felt like fraudulent for me to act like I have it all together. You know what I mean? Because I really don't. People always are like, how do you do it all? And I'm like, I don't do it all. Like I have horrible days. And sometimes I feel like people shouldn't do it all. And I feel like it's like a bad message we're giving to women because we can't do it all. Like we simply cannot. And like our mental health is just more important. So I think that in that moment, I'm just like, I don't even remember what I was saying because I was so in my emotions. But I do think that in that moment, I was just referring to like, I need a little space for me. Like, I just feel like I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, but like, I'm just ticking off like boxes and I'm not like present and able to be like, I just want to sit on my porch and have a coffee, or I just want to do nothing all day. Like I don't have that luxury. And which listen, it's not the work. It's like a very first world problem, but I was feeling very overwhelmed this year, very overwhelmed for lack of better words.
Are we going to see that you're, you know, struggling to get pregnant and maybe the surrogacy journey this season as well?
Yeah, so we do. I think you'll see a little bit of it. We are just in that space where I think many moms have been there, where you're just sort of getting like negative answer after negative answer, and some people give you kind of a positive answer, and then it's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to now have to, I can't carry the baby. Okay, now somebody else has to. And then it's like, you're just trying to mentally get through all that, but you're also like pushing 43 and they're like, oh, your eggs are going to exit. So it's like, nobody talks about, you don't have time, but you also have to digest all these big things, you know, which are not easy. No. And, you know, you go in your room and you cry and you're like, you have all these valid feelings, but also like you're also running a race against time. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard. And then, you know, there's just all the other stuff that that I had to recalibrate to, which was just like business. And now, you know, my son's a little bit older, so it's a whole new way of momming, and business is insane and we can't keep staff. And like my friends are just always fighting. And, you know, so it was just like a lot to jump back into after like sitting in my house and being on a random Zoom once in a while, right. You know, for a year.
Right, so, no, definitely. How are you feeling now? And are you guys in a better place with everything?
Yes, I'm totally feeling a lot better now. I think you guys will see a few crumbling moments that we, you know, that we film. And I think that I'm hoping that people will be gracious towards me about it. But I just wanted to give you guys, I wanted to be real me. I don't know how to like not be real me. So I think you'll see a lot of that. But yeah, I've learned that I really need to peel back a lot of the extra things that I'm doing. You know, I think I've been really leaning towards like essentialism, where it's like, okay, my house is a mess and it's okay. Or my oven doesn't have to be spotless and no one's like walking around checking the dust on my baseboards and no one is looking on, you know, okay, my office at work is a mess and not everything is on point. And I'm responding to emails 3 days later, but I'm doing my best,
exactly.
You know?
Yeah, we're just taking one day at a time.
Yeah, and I used to beat myself down for stuff like that, very much so.
Yeah, and like you said, Naomi is back. And right off the bat, you know, we see this, you know, storyline with Craig, and, you know, she said she hooked up with Craig. Craig confirmed it as well. I mean, what was your reaction to that? And did you ever think that maybe they were going to get back together?
Well, I did, because I saw them in Vegas. So I was like, they were trying to hide it from me. And then I was like, I know you guys better than this or whatever. So they were trying to hide it from me, which is why Naomi always calls me mom when it comes to the two of them, because I always like pick up on things. But yeah, I did in the beginning think that they were going to get back together. But then I like met Paige and I was like, oh, they're not getting back together. Like it was, everything is like not what it is when this entire season, even me, I'm like, I think that I have like these gut feelings and they're so wrong. I'm like, I'm clearly not a good judge of character, you know, like, or I'm clearly like not aware of what the hell's going on. So I think that you guys will enjoy this, and no one holds back this year. So I think that it might be one of the best, you know, I think it's going to be one of the best seasons you guys have ever seen.
I cannot wait. I mean, do you think Craig was wrong to hook up with Naomi while he was seeing Paige? I know he and Paige had a very unconventional start to their relationship.
Yeah, I think they were just like chatting, you know, when you're in that stage or whatever. And no, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he was like open about it. And I think they were both sort of transparent about it. Now, as for like all the murky details, I don't know. I was not privy to whatever was going on. But in the moment, I didn't think that either one of them were like in a committed space. I knew they were like chatting a bit or whatever. And yeah, I mean, the two of them maybe had some unfinished business or whatever. And I don't know.
And finished it up. What do you think of Paige? Do you think that she is the right match for Craig?
Yeah, I think they're a really good match. I think they make sense. I think that she's probably the type of girl that makes better sense with him. I think that they feed off each other and they're cute together. Like when I see them together, they seemed happy. So yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there is some tension between Craig, Austin, and Shep this season. What do you think kind of sparked that, and does that kind of last throughout this entire season?
I think with the boys, like they always have all these unsaid feelings, and then, you know, we're like out having fun and all of a sudden like they drink like so much more than we do, and then all of a sudden we're like at a campfire and we're like, what in the world? Why were you so angry? And they harbor a lot of like old stuff. Like they're grumpy old men after a while. Like when they'll have a few drinks and then they're just these grumpy old men, and then the next day it's like they fixed it. I don't know. My husband always says like men can just sort of like fist fight it out and then they're fine.
And then we forget about
like us girls, it's gonna take like months. So they definitely do that. And we never know what to do because we're like, so are y'all gonna get along tomorrow? I do have opinions about this, but you know, the best thing with the boys is just stay out of their way. Like just let them do what they're doing.
Yeah. How did Austin handle Madison's engagement this season?
I think he was pretty good about it, honestly. I wasn't like privy to anything that went on, but it seemed like he was kind of chill about it. I think he was shocked. I think everyone was shocked. But then I think he was kind of graceful about it. He was like, I wish her the best. And he said to me, he was like, she has a son and I just want them to be happy, you know? But also he was like, whoa, that was fast. So, which I think everyone thought, but I haven't met him, but she seems very happy and he seems like a very nice guy. So, you know, happy for her.
Does Austin seem happy with Olivia?
Yeah, I mean, they hang out quite a bit and you know, they met actually at me and Olivia's birthday before filming started when she was in town. And he rolled up in her DM. I think I posted a picture of her because she was coming back to town, and he was like, "Who is your friend?" And I was like, "Austin, you need therapy right now. And you need to date nobody, including my friend. You need to figure your stuff out." She's definitely like your watermark. Like she's like, whatever you call it, like the highest, I mean, you know, like she's gonna set the bar. Like this is a good girl. This is a nice girl. So don't go in like messy and broken and weird. Right. So, you know.
We'll see how it plays out. And, you know, you see in the first episode that you try to mend things between Catherine and Naomi kind of right off the bat. Was that kind of a lost cause this season? Did the two of them ever kind of get back on track? And, you know, how is Catherine doing now?
I do think that the two of them make some baby steps. Like it's like they take 10 steps back and then they take like 2 baby steps forward and then like 20 steps back and 2, you know, I do think there was some good moments, but all hell always breaks loose. I don't know. I couldn't even keep track because I felt like all of our friendships were like up and down this year. I think that going from not seeing everyone and kind of like seeing everyone in these weird COVID situations and then seeing everyone not only together but around a bunch of people was just like a catalyst to anything, any feelings we did have. You know what I mean? But I commend everyone. I think everyone's pretty transparent this year, which I don't think you always got like, you know, on the show. I think this year everyone came to say how they feel. You know what I mean? And be themselves. Right. So I think like I'm proud of the group for that. I think it's going to be one of the best seasons you guys have seen in a long time.
Shocked Craig and Madison are friends again?
Yeah, that was pretty shocking. Madison might be a better person than me because I would have been like, but also it's not like Craig was like, I think Craig's delivery was just really not nice. And you know, like I said, he was like maybe 4 rosés too deep or whatever when the Bieber hair flip, you know. I think he came up to me the next day and he's like, "I have the scaries." And I was like, "Craig, you can't do that anymore. You're a grown man. You have to like make conscious decisions. You can't just like come up like a puppy dog and say you have the scaries. You need to deliver apologies. You need to like be careful how much you're gonna have to drink before the reunion or whatever, or get in your feelings." It's like talking to a sweet toddler. But anyway, I think at the end of the day, I don't think his intentions were bad. I think he was just like trying to defend his friend, but he wasn't necessarily being nice. Yeah. Like I said, she's better than me, but I also don't think she takes Craig that seriously. So she's just like, whatever. What can you tell us about Southern Charm Leveland? I'm so excited about this. Oh, I'm so excited. I think you guys are gonna really, really love it. It's so real and young. Like, I feel like we haven't seen like shows of like, just like, it feels nostalgic almost to me. Like it feels almost like The Hills or something. I don't know. I think they're just all young, and I keep, you know, watching Bravo, and then I'm like, oh my God, like, is everyone gonna like these? Like, they're so young, but you know, it's so authentic. I think it'll just make everyone, think back to like their younger years. And it's such a different side of Charleston because we're such a hospitality city. And you know, you don't see that as much on Southern Charm. Like we are a hospitality city. So like that lifestyle of like working 4 days and partying for 4 days is like half of the city, right? You know, so, and they make killer money. You know, it's not like when you live in LA and you're like struggling to make ends meet. Like these kids are making a ton of money, and then they're spending 4 days in Tulum, or they're, you know, working 4 days and then they're like at a mansion, you know, on the beach. Like, so it's a really weird space and time, and they're all so cute and they have so much history, like with me and with each other, that you just, and my husband's like, stay out of their business. I'm like, but I can't. Did you know he's dating her? And did you know? And he's like, oh my God, you can't. And I was like, listen, they texted all to me. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in a business meeting, and then they, you know, like we're literally in a staff meeting and they're just bleeding through their pores because they're young. They don't know how to keep stuff to themselves, you know?
Definitely. Well, I can't wait to see the rest of the season. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly magazine.